Welcome to my channel Money Principles, and today I will be sharing my top 10 money videos on YouTube. On my YouTube channel I created a playlist with my top 10 money videos, and you can check out that playlist, but I need to mention is that I didn't create the content of that playlist, but you can find all the videos, all the top 10 videos that I will be discussing in that playlist. So check that out. My own journey when I first saw some money videos on YouTube, it was triggered by a suggestion that a friend made of mine. He sent me a link of a video on YouTube and he said, hey, you need to watch it. So I watched it and I really thought, okay, that was quite interesting. So in this video, I would like to share my top 10 because I think it can add some value, because there's quite some good videos out there on money. There are quite some bad videos out there on money, but I would recommend you to watch all 10. And if you think, okay, I missed one video that I should be including in my top 10, please share them in the comments down below, and I will have a look and potentially add it to the playlist. And I can, if you have a suggestion which one to remove, I can also take that into account. So please do share in the comments what you think about the videos. In this video, I would like to highlight 3 of them. A video by Ramsey, a video by Dan Lock, and a video by Grant Cardone. When a friend of mine gave me a suggestion to watch a YouTube video on money, he sent me the video from Grant Cardone, 5 Steps of Becoming a Millionaire. And he also wanted my opinion on that. And when I watched that video, I thought it was quite interesting, because in that video, Grant Cardone, if you don't know him, he's a real estate investor, but also somebody whose his job is give sales training. And in this video particularly, he goes to his sales team and trains them and gives them a short training about money. And what he shares, there are some clear principles that he uses in his life that he shares with his sales team. And given that it's he speaks to his employees, he's not speaking to a broad audience, and he really wants to teach his employees something about money. And that gives us a nice insight about how Grant Cardone manages his own money, and maybe something we can learn about. And what I found is there are some clear principles that he uses and shares that I would also like to highlight in this video. So the first principle that he uses is he focuses on a specific number. He talks about becoming a millionaire, and he talks about that becoming a millionaire is for him not enough. He wants to become a decamillionaire, meaning he wants to have 10 million. And the reason why he wants to become a decamillionaire, because he thinks that 10 million is the number he needs to become completely free. So not having to worry about money ever again. And he achieved that in his life, so it's clearly something that he focused on and eventually achieved. And by focusing on that specific number, it makes it also very clear which steps to take. The second principle that he uses is pay yourself first. So he says that he takes 40% of his gross income and invests that. And 40% is a lot, but if you want to become a decamillionaire, you need to make big sacrifices. And 40% is probably the number that you need. But that also, so investing is clearly an important thing that he does with his money. It's the first thing that he does. And by focusing on 40% of your gross income, what will happen is that 40% of your income is a big chunk of your income. That means that you don't have much to live on. And there comes the third principle that he uses, stay broke. Because when you live below your means, first of all, you won't be increasing your lifestyle that you can't afford. But what Grant Cardone does additionally with staying broke, he says that if I want to have a comfortable life, and still want to invest 40% of my gross income, then I need to increase my value. I need to increase my income, because by increasing my income, I can have a lifestyle that I can use for my children. So he focuses on increasing his value, increasing his income, and his main driver is by staying broke, you're forced to take action. And one of the things, and that's the fourth principle, is that he uses is massive action. He's really focusing on, okay, what do I need to do to get to the next step? He also talks about, and that's the fifth principle, he also talks about the real estate investing, that he uses that, and he's really, let's say, an expert in that area. He has his own real estate company, and he's, let's say, quite a successful real estate investor. So what he says is that he only invests in what he understands, and real estate is something that he understands, and he understands the power of cash flow, that the cash flow that comes from your real estate investments that can pay for your lifestyle increases and for other things. But he really focuses on the investments that he understands, and in his case it's real estate, and in your case it could be something else, but I think that it's very clear that he focuses on that. I do need to mention is that Grant Cardone can be quite extreme, so please don't try to copy and paste his way of looking at money, the 40%, the 10 million. Try not to copy that. Think about your own financial goals. Think about how much you need to invest to build wealth. Paying yourself first is one of those principles that almost everybody who builds wealth uses. So I would recommend you also to do that. The second video that I would like to discuss is the video from Dave Ramsey on how to become a millionaire. And Dave Ramsey is a financial guru who focuses on getting out of debt, taking certain steps to become wealthy. And Dave Ramsey in this video, it's a rant, so it really attacks, let's say, the average person. Okay, what do you do with your money? And one of the key principles that I found out of, that I think is quite interesting from this video is that, are you conscious with your money? Do you have a budget? Do you know where your money is going? And more importantly, are you achieving your financial goals with the way you manage your money? And he also explains the power of compound interest, so how much investing can add to your financial future. And he says if you invest $100 each month from the age 25 to the age of 60, so that's 35 years old, if you do that, then you will have $1 million in your bank account, on your investment account. And I think that if you indeed, one of the key things that you need to take away is that you need to be a long-term investor. You need to have a long-term financial goal in mind, and you need to be willing to contribute to that as early as possible. Because if you need 35 years, you need to start early to build that wealth, and otherwise you need to contribute a lot more money. And he also focuses on, okay, if you need to invest $100, where do you spend that on now? And maybe you spend money on things that you don't really care about, and he focuses on that, and he really says, okay, this is something that you need to prioritize, and that you really need to do. It's also a video that's been watched more than 2 million times on YouTube, so more people like this video. And the third video that I would like to discuss is the video How to Manage Money Like the Rich from Dan Lock. And what I really like about this video is Dan Lock sits down with one of his mentees and he discusses, okay, how should you manage your money? He also talks about paying yourself first, about how to automate your money system. But what I really like is that he really focuses, okay, where do you put your money? How much do you put away in an emergency fund? How much do you put away in learning, self-development? And he really gives a really clear structure, different buckets where you put your money in. And what I really like is that he says, okay, you should not focus on, let's say, the cost of automating your money system, because clearly if you open multiple bank accounts, bankers will ask money for that. But don't focus on the small stuff. Create habits, automate these habits, and build on these habits, and they are worth the cost. And what you will, also an important principle, he says, don't be greedy. So if you invest, don't try to become rich quick, but focus on 6 to 10% returns, meaning that if you either invest in real estate or either invest in the stock market, you will probably be able to do that if you don't want to become a professional investor. So it's also something that, as a professional investor, I think is a very realistic goal. And it's also, if you have a return around between 7 and 10%, that's also good enough to become wealthy. So it's not something that you should underestimate. If somebody says, okay, I want to have a 20 or 30 or 40% return, that's fine. But that's not, if you can't have a consistent return, then probably having a 7 to 10% return each year is more valuable. And you need to be consistent, and with that money system that he describes, it helps. And with these videos, what I try to focus on is this a sales pitch? Is this something that I try to sell? Because both Grant Cardone and Dan Lock are really focusing on sales, and do they want to sell something? But in this case, he sits down with his mentee and they have an honest conversation about money. And then you can really see and learn about that yourself. He talks about paying yourself first about 10%. That comes from The Richest Man in Babylon. I discussed The Richest Man in Babylon, the book, in my video Top 5 Personal Finance Books. So if you want to learn more about that, I would suggest to watch that video. But 10%, what Dan Lock says, is the bare minimum. So if you want to build wealth, if you really want to get the life that you really want to, if you want to have freedom, you probably want to invest more. And he talks about 15%, 20%, depending on your income. I don't necessarily agree with the brackets that he suggests, but that doesn't really matter. It's about the principle is that the more you earn, the more money you need to reserve for investing, because you don't want your lifestyle to balloon with your increase in income. So I hope you like this video. And as I suggested before, please put down in the comments below if you think that there is a video that I miss in my playlist, and I can check it out. But if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button. Thank you for your time, and see you next time.